When you are transitioning or converting from one line to another, sometimes it can feel overwhelming to figure out the tonal language. You're like, okay, wait, where's my red? Wait, 6, red was 6 in this line, but I look over here and 6 is not red. So how do I find what I need? And if you could think about it this way, every line is working from the same wheel, the same basic colors, and that color's vibrancy. So it's like, oh, do I have a red red? Do I have a red brown? Or do I have a brown red? So vibrancy is in and out, and the basic color is around and around. So everybody's working with the same stuff. They're just going to give it a different label or a different name. So let's say in the United States, we all say red. But if I go to France, they're going to speak this color red, but with a different word. If I go to Italy, we're going to say red with a totally different word. So, but they're 3 different words meaning the same thing. This right here, red. Well, in the US. So if I go into, let's say Majorelle calls their red by the label 6. If I go to Wella, they call their red by the label 4. Sometimes they're labeled by a letter. R for red makes sense, but sometimes they're tricky because it's shades. It's like AA is not ash, it's auburn. So it doesn't matter what they label it. You just got to transition from one language to another, basically one label to another for the very same basic color wheel. Find out where it lives out here and where it lives in here. And you're going to have a better idea of what you're working with. Now, that's the main topic, right? But let's say if we take 2 different reds, let's go back to the Majorelle and the Wella, right? So 2 reds, both level 6, both red. So they're both vibrant reds at a level 6. Then the question is this. Okay, so we know it's here and we know it's vibrant. So it's going to live towards the outside. It's real strong. Then I want to ask myself, now what kind of red? Do I have a red that is cooler, towards the cooler side? Do I have a red that's just your typical red? Or do I have a red that's slightly warm, leaning towards the warm side? Well, let's take Pearl. Pearl is a blue violet. So let's see. Let me find my blue violet. Here's the blue. Here is violet. Define that. So blue and violet. So your Pearl could be somewhere in here. Sometimes it's over here. So when you're thinking Pearl, you're like, wait, is Pearl leaning more blue or is it leaning more violet? You want to know where your Pearl is because that's kind of a big span of hues that it could be. So you're nailing down where it lives around here and where it lives into out. If you can do that, you have a much better handle on what you're working with. I hope that helps you.